Hello and good evening, everybody, on tonight's webcast. I welcome everybody from all around the world. I'm right now in Dubai, beautiful Dubai, hot weather here. So I hope you all have a great time wherever you are. I know for many countries today is a festive, it's a holiday. So I appreciate that you guys are coming on board and wanting to learn more about Utopian Global. As you see, my name is Claudia Eifert, and I'm going to host this presentation here for you today. I do have with me our founder and our CEO of Utopian Global on the call. He is here, most certainly. Hi, Bill. How are you today?
I'm great, Claudia. Great to be on the call. We had a busy time in wonderful Nairobi, Kenya, and now back in Dubai before we head back to Europe and meet people in that part of the world. So welcome to everyone joining us from many parts of the world.
Yes, we certainly had an amazing time in Kenya. I believe there's some Kenyans on the call. Hello to all of you Kenyans. It's great that you guys are on the call. But we do have, of course, as usually, many people from different parts on the world or from the world, obviously on the call, as well as listeners who are listening in from social media. So it's great to have you all on the call. And let's rock and roll and get started with the presentation to not waste any of your time. So the Utopian Global Ecosystem, as you see, it's a unique marketing platform for physical precious metals, income-producing energy assets STORH, which we're going to talk about, and a professional education system and affiliate marketing system. The company was founded by Bill Rowell, the CEO and founder, obviously, back in 2008 under the name of Joseph Wealth Systems to provide a system to get paid to save in gold and silver. Now, Bill, do you want to talk a little bit more about, well, why did you start Utopian Global? Why did you start this opportunity? What made you start it, basically?
Well, how, Claudia? It's a great question, and the history goes back. Well, this is the 11th year, and it goes back primarily, to be honest with you, with my own ignorance regarding money. Now, giving people a bit of history about myself on this call. Maybe people haven't met me before and know about me, but primarily I'm Australian, born in Melbourne, Australia, raised on a dairy farm, one of 8 children. So I was born up with hard work ethics. We had 70 cows and my father would milk cows and then he'd be a motor mechanic for 8 or 9 hours, drive back another 30, 40 kilometres and be a farmer again at night. He did that day in, day out, 7 days a week until he passed away in the 1970s as a young man. And you know, coming from a large family, obviously it was a huge shock. And I started thinking about, okay, we're brought up with understanding and values to work hard for a fair day's pay. But I come to realize that just working hard for a fair day's pay doesn't get you really ahead of life. It's hard to get ahead of the game. And then when you understand the monetary system, that the monetary system is actually designed to keep you there. It's actually designed to transfer wealth away from you and your family back to the central banking system through the effects of inflation. You've got to start thinking differently. So out of these, you know, everyone on this call would have their own story, of course, and similar stories. So, you know, we learn from these things, don't we? It makes us think. And in 1980, I flew to America as a young man. And at that time, the Australian dollar was worth more than the American dollar. And I started thinking, you know, it's just paper. Who makes the rules to say the Aussie dollar is worth more than the American dollar? Of course, it's certainly not the case now. And, you know, over 20 years, I owned 4 hotels. In 1986, I bought my first business and sold the last hotel in 2004 and did quite well running those businesses. And in 2003, I met a bullion banker called Philip Judge. Many people on this call probably are familiar with Philip. In fact, he joined us on one of our calls last week here from Dubai. We just spent some time with him in Dubai. And I know Ryan Messer will be heading down to Ecuador to look at some projects down there with him in the next week to 10 days, which is exciting. But Philip was a banker in gold and silver, and he, when I went into the accountant's office in Switzerland, he asked me what money was. And to be quite honest, I was a bit dumbfounded. I didn't really know how to answer the question. I stumbled. I said, okay, I used to own hotels. I provide products and services. People pay me in the currency. There, it's Australia, so it's Australian dollar. But he started talking about store of value. And I wasn't raised to really talk about money or to think about money. I was just raised to work for money. Trade your time for money. In fact, it was disrespectful on the kitchen table to even talk about money. To be quite honest, it was bad manners. And certainly talking about gold, well, that was for me, that wasn't even in our vocabulary, to be quite honest. But anyway, when I walked into this accountant's office in Switzerland back in 2003, Philip said to me, "We as a company only invest in products of the earth," meaning real tangible products. They don't invest in theoretical ideas, bags of air, social media hype. They don't invest in that. They invest in real tangible stuff. And this is not long after the dot-com boom, the internet boom stocks of the 1990s, which I made some money and probably lost more than what I made, just like people did during the crypto high boom of 2017, 2018. So it got me thinking. And he said, well, gold, he said, throughout history, just like Claudius got the slide here, he said, throughout history, rulers of empires, royalty and the financial elite have always put part of their savings, paper savings, into tangible wealth. He said, when it comes to gold, it may only be 3%. Now, in today's market, it could be up to 10% or more, depending on your situation. And he said, this is the reason why. He went up to a whiteboard and he said, back in Roman times, 1 ounce of gold, which is 31.03 grams of gold, would actually clothe you, a pair of toga and a pair of leather sandals. So he said 100 years ago, the same deal. You could go to any department store anywhere in the world, and with the ounce of gold, you could actually clothe yourself. And he said you could do the same with $20. You're just moving the slide too fast, Claudia. You could do the same with 20 US dollars. Because an ounce of gold at that time was priced at 20 US dollars. And then, of course, at that particular time, I was in Zurich. He said, well, here we are in Switzerland. What could you do with this $20 note today? And of course, I joked with him and said, Philip, we just came from having coffee and cake in downtown Zurich, and that cost us $20. In fact, today in Zurich, 3 coffees, 3 cappuccinos will cost you 20 US dollars. But the same ounce of gold, no matter where you are in the world today, you could be in New York, you could be in Sydney, you could be in Norway, you could be in Dubai, you could be in Nairobi, Kampala in Uganda. It doesn't matter where you are, the same ounce of gold converted into any currency in the world, because it's a store of value, will still buy a very nice, fine 3-piece suit, shirt and tie, and leather shoes. And that was a aha moment when I got the concept of wealth preservation, because up until the time, I wasn't really thinking about wealth preservation. I was just thinking about making as much as I could, to be quite honest about you. And a lot of my wealth was slipping through my fingers because I did not have this understanding. So this is really how the whole concept came to be. And of course, today, here we are, 2019, we've come a long way. And through the relationship of Philip Judge, I was introduced to Ryan Messer, the CEO of STORH, because in 2004, when I physically met Philip in Zurich, he introduced me to the world of precious metals, but he also introduced me to the world of an energy fund. And because he said we only invest in products from the earth, and he gave me a reason why. And in fact, I was investing in an energy fund which Philip was running. He was the operator, the CEO of the energy fund. Before I invested a cent with them, I wanted to meet the team. See, I'd learned from my mistakes of the 1990s investing in crap, investing in things that didn't have anything of value. A bit like some of these tokens on the planet today, 95% don't have any tangible value or utility behind them. They're just a nice story. Well, back in the internet boom, that was much of the same case, of course. You know, many internet sites coming up, .coms and these different things, and they're going to do these miraculous things, of course. And the price went up and the price fell very fast and the market changed. And this is what we experienced here. So I went to America, met the team. Maybe Claudia wants to go to the team site, team slide, I should say. I met the team, Ryan Messer. I met Jay Stewart, the geologist, and I met other people as well, engineers and different things, Philip Judge, Simon Heaps. And I was impressed with the team. Because after all, in business, what are you investing in? You're investing in people. With Utopian Global, you're really investing in the belief that I'm telling you is the real deal. It's not BS. And it's the same with Ryan Messer. So you've got to do your due diligence. You have to ask questions. So what impressed me about back in 2004 was the people that I met. And because of that, going to Louisiana, in fact, Baton Rouge and that region right in the Mississippi River, and visiting many sites, I invested. In fact, I invested 1 million Australian dollars. At that time, the Australian dollar was worth less than the American dollar. It was about 860,000 US. And I invested into that particular asset and been involved with this team ever since. And of course, Ryan Messer, outstanding entrepreneur. He runs 2 energy companies in the United States, good friend, smart, high integrity, works with passion. He's driven. Of course, he was going to, because I was involved with mining with Utopian Global as well, actually Swiss Gold Global, without confusing people. Up in that time, we sold mining contracts. We were going to build a mining farm together in America, and he was going to run it. And of course, because the crypto scenario changed back then, it was too risky. But we wanted to take this experience that we had, learning about the blockchain, learning about the future of currencies and assets and things, and you know, these ledgers called blockchains. We wanted to actually take the assets, this experience that Ryan and his team had, apply it to a token, and hence we have STORH. So really that is STORH. STORH is a digital share in one sense that is on a transparent ledger called the blockchain. We use the Ethereum 223. In fact, right now our auditors are issuing our members tokens onto the blockchain. Some of you would have already received them in your approved wallets. You only have to enter your wallet once, mind you.
I'm going to walk them through the slides.
Okay, over the next 3 to 4 weeks, we'll actually get that completed. But keep going, Claudia. But that gives you the summary of where we've come from and where we are today with the relationship with myself and how I got to know Ryan Messer, the CEO of STORH. So back to you, Claudia.
Thank you, Bill. Yes, so I want to just obviously go over STORH, what really STORH is. So when we look at the global energy consumption realities, obviously we have a population which is growing in a very, very fast space, and yet we have still a very, very large fossil fuel proportion of world energy consumption. I mean, let's face it, it's the biggest. So of course, the interest of STORH, and actually interest of everybody really, is to develop an alternative energy source. And that is particularly which, of course, STORH is looking into as well as we move on with the project, and address, of course, the environmental damage which is done through mining, through many different things, plastics, etc., etc. And STORH is really building value while at the same time doing good. When you get involved into STORH, into Utopian Global or opportunity through STORH, you really have a unique energy investment opportunity, and again, building value while you're doing good. Good for the environment, good for people, and at the end, of course, good for you and your legacy as well. So what we have, or what STORH really has done, is reimagine ownership and stewardship of global energy and mineral assets, addressing energy consumption realities, which are real in this moment of time, remediate environmental damage, and build a bridge to a more sustainable future and generate returns and drive growth for investors. And so the vision really of STORH is to provide a very resilient and high growth token investment platform backed by actually natural resources, which are totally resistant to, of course, the market volatility. That's what we're really looking into when you look into STORH, to build really that good for people. So, and with, of course, STORH, so STORH, as Bill mentioned, STORH is a very, very new concept. It only has been, because of this long, obviously, relationship, it just has been launched. Really, the white paper was out in January. So it's a very, very unique, very young opportunity itself. And the mission, obviously, of STORH here is to leverage niche resource opportunities where big and large companies wouldn't even look into it, and provide therefore the bridge to sustainable assets for long-term capital growth. That really is what STORH wants to do, giving you a very much of a diversified portfolio in a single investment vehicle. So on one hand side, energy resource assets, natural gas and liquids, which are producing now. On the other hand side, mineral recovery technology, infrastructure projects, sustainable technology and services. And that's why Bill mentioned all this team, which I'm going to show you at the end of the presentation, a team slide. That is why you need to have a very, very diversified team, all experts in their fields. And so the STORH strategy is really starts with a foundation. And the first half year, really what we have been doing is through the marketing platform Utopian Global, is actually getting that foundation built, acquiring from the package sales those energy resource projects, which are vital because they give us cash flow now, which we can invest into the future projects, and of course, therefore creating liquidity. And so the number second step basically is the core, is the infrastructure and service-based projects, and then the high growth, the mineral deployment or the mineral development and technology projects. So this is a little bit the strategy, and of course you can read more in the white paper about that. So let me just go to the next slide. And I know we have a lot of people who are asking questions. We're going to address the question afterwards. So don't you worry, stay on the call. We're going to address those questions, yeah? Because I see a lot of people, they're wanting to ask questions about it. The STORH difference is really market resilience, projects which can be, because the team is behind, executable, single agile vehicle, asset-backed tokenization, so there's real assets there. We don't just move a price or say whatever price it is. No, it is asset-backed tokenization, liquidity, and obviously there's leadership expertise, which you do need. So the foundation, which we have been now building really through the token sale and of course the raise of the funds, is that Texas oil producing field. Some of the people on the call have been to Texas, have actually stood on the field, which is really great. That is a amazing project, and it produces currently 800 barrels of crude, and this has a potential to actually increase it to up to 1,000 barrels, or actually maybe even more. So currently it has an internal rate of revenue of 25%, with a potential only if we reinvest the current proceedings, the current earnings, then it has a potential up to 40% to actually produce for its token holders, which is really, really great. Of course, and then we have, which just has been released in the white paper, the Polystream plastic and fuel processing plant. That's the core project. That's the next phase, actually, we're moving into. And so we, of course, want to build that first US pilot project, as your first US facility in 2019, and then expand it up to 100 sites worldwide. Of course, therefore, we raise funds in order, obviously, to buy those projects so that they can generate an amazing revenue for you. So currently 40,000 to 100,000 pounds of waste is actually being used per site. So one plant or one site of those Polystream plastic recycling plants takes from 40,000 to 100,000 pounds of plastic waste per day. And you see here the upside is 50% enhancement over traditional processing, over the way they traditional process plastic, 50% enhancement. That's quite a lot. And we believe we're going to be a break even in 2 years. And obviously, and that is our big thing, have a socio-environmental impact, meaning really doing good for the environment everywhere in the world. I believe by the year 2050, if we grow at the current rate of plastic, I believe we have more plastic in the ocean than actually fish in the ocean, which is pretty terrifying. So it's certainly an amazing project. Then, of course, the long-term growth project, that's the Peru or Ecuador mineral reclamation and remediation. That has an estimated extraction of 7.4 million tons of copper, 40,000 ounces of gold, and 1.4 million ounces of silver. Now, whoever has been to Peru, I know we're going to go to Peru soon in October, but whoever has been to Peru knows there's a lot of mining going on in Peru, and there is a lot of damage being done. There's a lot of sickness, illness in the population because of these mining sites and the way they have processed basically those minerals in the past. So first of all, the environmental remediation, the site cleanup, the clean energy utilization, the recycling, the support for regional social projects, and the whole project has an upside for the company of $2 billion plus. Pretty amazing. So the question is, why would you not get involved into something where you really can do good, but also make some great income with it? Then, of course, the next high growth project is water reclamation, basically the Oklahoma clean water processing site we have there. We're looking into, Orion is looking into with STORH. It's a 10-acre site, and of course the planned services on it is wastewater disposal, water treatment, recycling, oil recovery, heavy brine and chemical blending, and production of 30,000 barrels per day with a internal rate of revenue of 200%. So another thing which is really great is using that water, which actually when we have the process of fracking, which everybody so much dislikes because it does so much, causes so much damage, well, that water which is used is to be cleaned. And what really this does is cleaning up that water. And again, therefore, we're doing good. At the same time, we are generating revenue for you, the token holders, and of course, the company. So the revenue model is pretty simple. So from the token sale of the STORH token, there will be a reinvestment. A reinvestment then can, of course, like the Texas side, increase absolutely the value of those projects, the value of those sites, meaning then generating you a higher distribution in the future. And when we look at the token on issue, there is 22.6 million tokens on issue which was on the previous round, and now there's 46.6 million token offered now. 3.46 go to the management, 69.26 is a total tokens on issue at completion of the ATO itself. And obviously the liquidity, which everybody's asking, well, when I own those STORH, what do I do with it? If I want to sell out, what do I do? How can I sell it out? It's a very, very interesting question. And sure, there's a lot of future planning to make, of course, those returns available to investors. So one is, of course, listing the tokens on exchanges, an initial public offering, an IPO, revenue distribution, and blockchain-based partnerships. So personally, myself, I'm looking for revenue distribution. So for me, I see it like a pension fund. That is for me. Why? Well, because some of the projects, especially the Texas side, you know, this has a 25 years potential, of course, production, meaning like 25 years from now, there will be still production from that field. That means revenue for the token holders, revenue, of course, because I'm a token holder for me, or for you who are on the call and your own tokens. So that's about the liquidity, and obviously, we have started with the exclusive private pre-sale of the tokens at the gross retail token price, meaning the package price at 25 cents. Then we have gone just the day before yesterday, we have been selling it for 50 cents, the gross retail token price, meaning the package price. And now we have moved on to €1 at the gross retail token price, the package price, because of the Texas producing assets. And of course, everything now after it's going to the production midstream pyrolysis plant, what I have showed you before, the plastic recycling, and the water reclamation, and then we're going to start the Peru initial phase. So this is the reason on those prices, the prices going up of the token. So the initial target will be around €4 and eventually going to €10, depending, of course, on the asset raise and, of course, the asset accumulate, the raise of the funds and the asset being purchased and being employed, obviously, and producing revenue. So the STORH chart, as you see here, is not just a chart, as Bill often mentions, just because Ryan or Bill wake up the next morning and they think, well, let's increase the price. No, the increase of the price is based on the actual assets itself. So that is, of course, amazing if you can get involved now as from €1 at the gross retail token price. And of course, as higher the package you buy, as more tokens you will get, which then of course will produce you more revenue. But we are still very much in the early day. The STORH team, as Bill was talking about before, we have here Ryan Messer, the founder CEO, Randall Eddington, the founder of and director of Midstream, and all the other people, Brad Mitchell, Scott Myers, the blockchain strategic advisor for STORH, and Mike Milio, the lawyer Bill was talking about, and of course the James Stewart, the geological advisor, Philip Judge. We heard him last week talking about the mineral production in Ecuador and the mineral production in Peru. And I believe Ryan and Philip, they're going to go soon to Ecuador to obviously look at these things in detail, hopefully getting some great picture for us. Robin Anthony Slaughter with Philip together working on the mineral sites there. And then of course Steve Orst, the global entrepreneur and ambassador, there working on the STORH team together with Carlos Oscar Cesar Montero, who does all the negotiations there in the Latin American market. So as you see, it's a team of many years of experience, industry experts, and they stand behind STORH. So basically for you, the decision is now, do you want to get involved into this opportunity with STORH? Do you want to, do you see the vision what we have here with Utopian Global for the Utopian Global Network? And would you like to actually participate in doing something for the environment, in doing good, not just doing good for your pocket, which you will do, but hopefully, but doing good for the environment? Well, with STORH, this is our aim, and with Utopian Global, well, we want to sell as many tokens as possible. We want to raise as many funds as possible. Why? Again, this is wealth generation. It is not a quick rich scheme, but it is wealth generation for future generations. And yes, it's going to take a little while. It's going to take a year and 1.5 years, 2 years from now. Then you're going to see those distributions, that revenues coming. But of course, you have another way, and another way to make very fast income, obviously, is through the marketing of the Utopian Global platform, and the marketing of the Utopian platform is of course done through the Utopian Global system. But to get involved, to become a customer, it's pretty simple. You just need to register, complete the KYC, complete the PPM, the private placement memorandum, which is a legal binding document designed by Mike Milio and his team of lawyers, actually giving you the rights of owning, so really direct ownership in the company to own these assets, which is pretty amazing. But from as little as €50 onwards, you can become a customer and purchase either gold, silver, or the STORH token. In fact, gold or silver you can even buy from as little as €25. But to become an affiliate, well, we have different packages to get in. We have the starter packages, which are the 99, 170, 390, 790, up to 3,500. Those are the affiliate packages. And with them, obviously, you're going to get STORH, the STORH token, but you're also going to get a platform for gold or silver, where you can diversify in gold or silver. You can purchase your gold or silver. You can have it stored in the LBMA storage facility. You can have it shipped if we ship to your country. We have a premium education program, and you can make daily referral income, which is pretty awesome. We do have obviously the United States packages. They are replaced at the store because in the United States the store token cannot be sold at the moment, maybe in the near future, but at the moment not, only when it is listed. But in the United States, they still can participate, they can still build generational wealth. All the packages will be replaced by precious metals. And then we have, of course, the quantum packages. So the quantum packages, they start with 9K up to 1 million K. What is the difference? Well, obviously, you get more tokens for your money. You get more tokens for your money. Those are investors packages. Most of the money goes into the actual investment. So as you see, we have days as well, and we have a very generous affiliate wealth generation system, really, where we have many different ways to get paid: daily, weekly, and monthly income. So we have the enrollment packages, as I said, starting from 99 up to 3,500, and every time you enroll somebody with a package, be it the 99 or be it the 170 or be it the 3,500, you're making what we call a FTB, a fast track bonus. That's a one-time bonus when they buy the package. If they buy a 99 euro package, you get that. If they buy 170 euro, they get that. Any package, any enrollment package, you get a fast track bonus. But then you're also going to get a uni-level bonus. Uni-level bonus pays up to 7 levels, but pays 14% level 1 and 2. That's why I have the level 2 there as well. So if you sign somebody in with a 99 euro package, you actually making 37 euros. If you sign somebody in with a 3,500 package, well, you're making 998 euros, which is not bad at all. Then we have the quantum packages, as you do see here. 9,000 euro, you join somebody with a 9K package, you make instant fast track of 1,000 euro, then another 42 euros on top of it, and you have a total commission at level 1 of 1,042 euros, which you are making. That is an amazing income. I know we had some people, actually we had when we were on our recent trip of Kenya, in Kenya we had somebody coming, Pastor Eddie from Uganda, and he didn't sell those quantum packages, he sold the other ones before, but so I'm gonna go back in the slide with that. But he was entering the company with 99 euro. That was only 99 euros he had left to pay rent for obviously his home, and to be able to, of course, feed his children. He has 4 children, actually 1 is adopted, I believe, and he put all what he had for the next 2 months aside to invest in a business, and well, 2 months later he made around 3K, and he made more than in the last 2 years together. So amazing stories, what we can do with Utopian Global. We have many other different stories. I just wanted to share this because it is absolutely, yeah, it's mind-blowing, really. It's really touching heart, because hey, those people have it tough, yet when they see a vision, they never could actually own real assets. For the first time in their life, they can own real assets. That is fantastic. So really, this business is all over the world. You can it is for something for everybody, so don't underestimate. And then of course we have an amazing different ways to get paid. The uni-level bonus obviously pays up to 7 levels. When you refer, you build your team, you unlock with as you move up the ranks or your career ladder, you unlock different bonuses which you pay you further down in your commission plan. So when you join as an affiliate, automatically, if you have people 2 levels down, you're going to get paid on them. If you want to get paid 3 levels down, well, you need to become a bronze. That means you have 2 people actually frontline to you, and then you unlock another 3 levels, obviously, in the commission plan. You become a bronze elite, you unlock 4 levels. It's not so difficult. It's 3 people having personally sponsored and making one of those 3 actually a bronze, so helping him grow. the whole compensation plan is designed that you actually help people grow. That's what we do here. Myself, I'm an independent business owner, and my job is to educate the people I introduce and their people, so that they obviously can help and build and promote and market this amazing system which we have through Utopian Global. So in a nutshell, if you build a system 5 by 5, meaning introducing 5 people who introduce 5, and again, this is just statistic, even you do 3 or you do some do 2, some do 10, whatever, that's just a statistic, what it would and could pay you if you would do that. And this is based on €50 monthly, because we have a €50 monthly membership for active affiliates, for those people who want to build and actually a business with, meaning making fast cash. We have €50 monthly. You get for your €50, obviously 50 STORH token and the platform of Utopian Global. But this is based on the €50 monthly. Everybody basically in your team buying €50, that could be the potential earning based on this figure. But with that, basically, we also have a direct bonus. So every time you sell precious metals, you make 1% on all your direct people you introduced of what they purchase in precious metals. And of course, why do we want them to buy precious metals? Well, it's the best hedge against inflation. It's your savings plan. Okay, and we do have incentives, great incentives, from starting and ranging from a watch to a telephone, to beautiful trips, to fantastic locations, all of that, and of course much more. So with that, if you have any questions, well, contact the person that actually invited you to this presentation. Gain more knowledge, get more knowledge, ask them questions, and I hope that you're gonna start your journey with Utopian Global through the Utopian Global Network by and therefore owning real assets with STORH, and also real assets, which is gold and silver if you're in the United States. So with that, thank you so much for listening to the presentation. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, even though we had a little bit of a slide changes muck up there, but yes, we are looking forward for of course to meeting many of you. I believe we have the next event going to happen in Birmingham on the 6th of July. It's already July, unbelievable. So we are halfway through the year. Well, time is really flying, and then we're going to be off to Australia, then we're going to be off to a next African tour, and then we're going to be off to a Latin American tour going through many countries. So if you want to catch this opportunity, well, get involved, ask questions, and don't miss it. So with that, again, thank you so much. Thank you, Bill. I'm not sure if you want to add something, and I'm going to look if I have some questions here.
No, you covered it very well, Claudia. Great call, but I'll be here for any questions that you may have.
Fantastic. So we have a question here. I don't see it yet, but Timothy was asking a question. So yes, you can. Your time is now, Timothy, to ask the question. If you're still on the call, that is your time right now to ask the question. Otherwise, I want to say hello to Stephen, to Timothy, to Warren, Yanis, Shirley, great to have you here, Sean, Robbie, Mats, Frappier, Evelyn. Evelyn, I think you're going to go back to Ghana, aren't you? So, well, girl, you make it happen in Ghana and we come. Dimitri, I heard you're doing an amazing job there. So I'm looking very much forward coming soon to Antwerp again. Yeah. Christina. Hi, Christina. I hope you're enjoying your beautiful Switzerland. And we have Brian on the call. Hi, Brian. Looking forward to come to Norway as well. You know, you set us there up in Norway. So to come soon there. Yes, Evelyn says she cannot wait. Absolutely. Ghana, certainly one of the countries I have not visited, but I know a lot of people who live in Germany from Ghana, in fact, many. So guys, Timothy, your question, you can ask your question now, type it in. You have the panel there. You can easily type in the question and we're gonna answer that question. Well, while we are waiting here, Bill, you have anything to add?
Well, I think you covered it, Claudia, but let's do some updates then. I think there's some updates we need to go over, some housekeeping. Primarily, people are aware that the new pay plan or amended pay plan is uploaded to the back office, which is fantastic. So we have a notification board now. When you log in, you should see some notifications popping up there, giving you some changes. The new white paper, I believe, is out, updated from Ryan, the CEO of STORH, which is great. That's available to all of you to go through. It's important to read it, of course. And this week, in the last couple of days ago, we actually, the STORH price increased. In fact, it doubled in price due to the asset acquisition in Texas. And now, of course, the focus right now is, of course, adding more value to the token price by primarily, I think it's going to be the Ecuador project, but primarily the pyrolysis plant acquisition. And this is going to add a lot of substantial value and revenues to the STORH token, because before we list it on the exchange, we must have solid revenues, solid asset valuation to make sure we have a strong, high price of STORH, so we can all benefit from that. But of course, to do that, it takes work, it takes equity, and of course real assets to do that. So that's the focus on our table right now for the next 12 months, is to get all that happening.
Absolutely, and there's a great question coming, which of course always comes about the distributions, the distributions of from the generation of the assets, which of course the assets, the first little assets, the first two small assets, they had produced very little revenue, because back then in March, or basically in April, we only had them a few weeks, so that revenue was reinvested. Now the next 3 months of distribution basically coming into place in July. July would be the next distribution. This distribution will be fully reinvested into, of course, the assets, so that they can produce and can be enhanced, especially the one in Texas, because I believe this month we're going to drill 2 more wells in that asset. So maybe, Bill, you want to touch on that a little bit?
Well, I think you already answered the question, Claudia.
Maybe you have something to add.
Well, you actually said it absolutely. I mean, it's very important. We just settled on this asset, the major asset, which is a Texas asset, this month. The revenues, which are strong revenues, be generating for those. There's over 90 producing wells that'll be re-sown into this particular asset for the expansion, updating some well damage and also drilling some new wells. Because the idea is you want to take it from 800 barrels per day to 1,000 barrels per day, which is a substantial increase. That's going to give us increased revenues. And then the pyrolysis, we forecast to see distributions being paid out once the first pyrolysis plant is actually in production. Now, just with that, of course, in one sense, we're halfway there, because we're already engaged. Ryan and Randall, Randall Eddington, who heads up the midstream, which is a blending of different condensates. They already have an infrastructure in the US. So in one sense, the most important component to this whole process of pyrolysis is already there. And now, of course, we need to actually have the pyrolysis plant. And when that's completed and commissioned and in operation, then we're ready. Of course, the actual token value will probably again double, I would say, or more. And revenues will commence to pay out. But that is the absolute core focus for the rest of 2019, and I would say the first quarter of 2020 is to get that up and going, to add value to the token, and of course so we can commence revenue payout. But at the moment, it's all about re-sowing back into the asset value.
Absolutely, and it is really about that. And Evelyn is asking, do we have to do a yearly renewal membership like before? Well, Evelyn, you can decide how you wish to do that. So yes, you have a €50 monthly. Now, if you wish to pay upfront for 12 months, you can certainly do that. Just go to your back office, go to membership, and pay upfront for 6 months. Yeah, certainly you can do that. It is very easy.
Well, just on that point, it's just not membership, of course. You get lots of things for your membership, Evelyn. You actually get STORH tokens. If you're not a US citizen, when you buy your membership, you're increasing your equity ownership in the asset, Source Rock Energy Partners in the United States. So every time you renew your membership, you're owning more equity in the US company, Source Rock Energy Partners, which in time will start to pay back to you. And secondly, if you're US paying your membership, of course, you're increasing your gold and silver holdings, because that you get gold and silver included in that, as well as all the ecosystem of the affiliate program. And we spoke about this in Nairobi, actually. In Nairobi, you'll pay, for less than a cup of coffee, even in Nairobi, you own an international business here. Your membership of 50 euros a month, let's say it's $1.50 per day. Well, everyone buys a coffee pretty much per day. You own an international business for $1.50 a day or less. And inside that, you're actually getting ownership either in physical metals, gold or silver, or you're actually increasing your ownership in STORH equity in a US company called SourceRock Energy Partners, which is all detailed in the private placement memorandum. So that's what you do. When you think of membership, think of it as real assets.
Absolutely. And Timothy is asking, how can I acquaint more people about STORH? Is there anything like a handout perhaps can I use, explain the benefits and how it works? Sure, there is, Timothy. So we have the white paper. So the white paper, which certainly it's if you print it out, it's a nice read. In fact, it was updated yesterday with the pyrolysis plant. We do have a pitch deck, which is almost finalized for STORH to come out, which is a very nice presentation. We do have very soon as well a merchandise shop, etc. coming out. We do have very soon also brochures for the Utopian Global coming out. So there's a lot of stuff which is there in which you can get hold of. So that you can present to and explain obviously the benefits and how it works to potential clients or potential affiliates. Christina says she loves the presentation. That is great, Christina, and you love the project because of base of this investment. Well, girl, get into it. Come on, get into it. You know a lot of people, and I know that because I know. And looking forward to see you soon again somewhere. I mean, you never know where we meet in this world. Timothy is asking concerning investment, how can I invest from Nigeria? Well, I guess STORH is not yet known in Nigeria. No, Timothy. Remember, STORH is not known yet in Nigeria. And Nigeria is a great market. In fact, Bill maybe touch on Nigeria in a second. I'm just going to repeat again. STORH only launched really late 2018, 2019, only January was the white paper out. So we are just really getting started. So maybe Bill, you want to touch a little bit on Nigeria.
Well, Nigeria is an exciting market, isn't it? I've been there several times to Abuja and, of course, Lagos. It's a busy city there. Crazy place, huh? 200 million people, all wanting to improve the quality of life. So it's a great market in that sense. So I'm a director and founder of a company in Nigeria. It's approved by the Corporate Affairs Commission in Nigeria. It's called Swissquote Global Enterprises. We have GT Bank, so people in Nigeria, we can pay them in GT Bank, we can pay them in Bitcoin, but also you can buy products by sending money to, by selecting Bankwire. When you receive your Bankwire credentials, you'll see the Guaranteed Trust Bank, GT Bank, Lagos credentials there, and of course they can send their money there to buy any of our products or services. So we're already there in Nigeria. We love these markets because we know there's a great need for it, and to be able to give people in this part of the world, as we do in Kenya, as we do in Uganda and around the world, be able to give these people the opportunity to own an international business for the price of a cup of coffee a day, and to own equity in an asset outside their country and to earn another currency other than the naira, other than the shilling. Kenyan shilling when speaking, or Ugandan shilling, whatever currency might be, you're diversifying your wealth. You're building real assets, and you're actually diversifying your income, which is really important because Naira, it loses a lot of value as we move ahead, years ahead, same as every other currency on the planet. So multiple streams of income are really important, and saving in real assets is really pertinent as well.
Absolutely, Bill. And to get involved in Nigeria is pretty simple. So it's very simple. So you go and change your naira into your euro. You could do that obviously either through foreign exchange, or I mean, you know where to do it over there on the market. And then you open a GT Bank account, and you can then pay it into the Euro GT Bank account of the company of Swissquote Global Enterprise, and that's it. So pretty simple. Or obviously you own Bitcoin. I mean, there's large Bitcoin exchanges in Nigeria. Pretty simple The great thing is, as Bill mentioned, you can diversify into precious metals because your Naira is losing value, right? My euro is losing value, and gold, as you have been presented with, is always maintaining its purchasing power. But to be involved in real asset and a income producing asset, but also a business opportunity where you in Nigeria can make today money if you join today and you share the business opportunity with other people today. Today, you can already have money in your account. That is great, and this is big. And I know there's a lot of people in Nigeria, a lot of people who want to get ahead, a lot of people who want to generate wealth, a lot of people who want to have a better life. So if you get involved today, just as Pastor Eddie did, he did put his last 99 euro he had. They were reserved for paying his rent. But he had faith. He believed the person who introduced him to Utopian Global, had totally faith. He took his faith, his belief, his excitement about the opportunity, and made more in 1.5 months than he made the last 2 years in his life. So you can do that as well over there. And at least we have here on the call our leader from Kenya, very, very great lady. Really amazing, and we're really looking forward to coming back to Kenya. I know you have a lot of work waiting for us there, Elise. I mean, we have a lot of to do. I mean, for me, I don't want to track it too long, but how much time we have? Okay, we are not yet on the hour. The most, for me, impact or biggest thing is when I see those women. I mean, I don't know what they have gone through, but their eyes speak. Their eyes alone speak words, and men, of course, as well. You know, not just women and men. The hunger they have, but of course, you see, we have to tell them, hey, this is not a scam. This is a good opportunity, because they have been scammed so many times. But when they really grasp the concept, they're very excited. So they're really, really excited with what we have. They can look us in the eyes, and we are not going to cheat them. We are not going to run away. They don't need to worry that the website will be closed down tomorrow. So this is what they really liked, and we felt that. I believe they felt that too in Kenya, didn't they, Elise? And we can really build a huge business with them, not just in Kenya, not just in Uganda, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Norway. We can. In Norway, they have also the same problems. It's just in a different scale, on a different level. In Germany, it's just a different scale or different level. But yet, everybody wants to have a better lifestyle. Everybody wants to have more money. Everybody wants to have a secure pension fund. For me, this is, again, we have to make a disclaimer, obviously, but for me, this is my pension. I mean, precious metal, I don't have to talk about. We know that, but of course, our assets. So, and yes, and Elise says, yes, they did, and they have a lot of trust. Absolutely. And so it's really important, and that's why Bill makes sure with Ryan that we have a big responsibility here for these people. And we don't want to fail these people. So we have a lot to do. It is not all perfect, but it is getting better by the day. But you, if you decide to become an affiliate, well, we are here to help you, to give you the tools, but you have to, of course, take responsibility of building this business for you and your family, and of course, all the people and your team you getting involved with. So with that, Bill, thank you so much. And again, we have to make a disclaimer at the end of the presentation. I believe it is there. If I'm not, no, it's not there. Sorry, I must have missed it. The disclaimer, of course, in the United States, we cannot sell STORH token. So under the Security Act or security law, unfortunately, it is not available currently. And as an affiliate, when we make those statements, when we talk about this great opportunity, again, I don't know what you do, what you can do, how good you are on marketing. This pay plan pays very well. People get very greatly rewarded. But of course, if you put the work in, if you put in the work, we're going to get rewarded. If you sit at home and don't share the message with nobody, but we joined as an affiliate, well, obviously, we're going to get eventually rewarded from the assets you own, but may not in that great manner in the compensation plan. So with that, thank you so much, and have all a great evening. Thank you, Bill, and thank you all the listeners.
Thank you. Good night to everyone.